And it's time now for weather with Nebraska Extension Ag Climatologist and Market Journal Chief Meteorologist Al Dutcher. Al, we've got another week in November under the books. What can we expect in the days ahead?
Well, Bill, we did see some active weather during the middle of the week as we've seen that cold front come through the state. And of course, we've seen some precipitation break out. The heaviest of it was in extreme southeastern Nebraska with some thunderstorm activity around the Falls City area. About 1.5 inches. Here in Lincoln, about 1/3 of an inch to anywhere to 1/2 inch, depending on where you were in the city. But farther north and farther west you went, precipitation itself dropped off. But to our north, exceptionally heavy snowfall and high winds creating blizzard-like conditions across eastern Dakotas and northern Minnesota. So we are getting to that time of the year where we start to really pay attention to each of these systems because they do have the potential to produce some pretty significant snowfall as we move into the early parts of winter or the later part of the fall period. So let's take a look at the upper air models and see what we may have in store for this next week. And the first thing I'll draw your attention to, we do have the cold air that came in through this week and some supporting energy moving around the top of this ridge. It's going to bring another surge of cold air into our region and potentially some flurry activities. We have a low pressure system situated up over south central portions of South or North Dakota, and that is expected to generate some light snowfall activity to its north and to the east. And as that system digs toward the region by tomorrow morning, it will likely result in a little bit of residual flurry activity across northeastern Nebraska, potentially making it as far south as east central Nebraska. But the farther west you go, the less there are in terms of precipitation. But we should also begin to start to see a warming trend as that trough lifts off toward the east. We'll start to see a ridge building back in, and our temperature will start to rebound rather significantly. We're probably going to be looking at 40s on Sunday to in the 50s to possibly even 60s out west on Monday, as we see basically nothing in the way of precipitation, most of it to our east. Now on Tuesday, we should still stay somewhere in the 50s to the lower 60s in a horizontal flow. We do have a low pressure system at the surface up over the upper peninsula of Michigan that will generate snowfall, but our next system will be coming down the pipeline as it's starting to enter the Pacific West Coast, and we'll start to see a broad general trough starting to develop. Low pressure was shown signs of development over southern Texas, but because it's moving so quickly, we're not seeing a lot of moisture with it. So any moisture that gets lifted up and interacts with this front is going to produce some very, very light precipitation across the northern part of the state or even up a little bit farther toward the north. By Thursday, this trough tries to dig a little bit farther toward the south. So we're going to definitely be in a much cooler trend in the second half of next week as we start to see our temperatures drop back down into the 40s. And we may actually pick up a little light snowfall during the overnight hours Wednesday through Thursday. Now on Friday, there is a little bit more jet energy moving along through this zonal flow. Low pressure sets up over northeastern Colorado, so there is the potential that we could see some residual snow and light snow much to our north. But we're going to pay attention to this low pressure system because the GFS model has been indicating that we will see the development of some type of system that will generate some pretty significant snowfall somewhere in the central and northern plains. And the timing of it has been varying anywhere from the middle of next weekend all the way through about the 22nd. So be aware that there is the potential for some significant weather as we go into next weekend or later. 8 to 14 day forecast indicates below normal temperatures up to our north, above normal to our southwest. And in terms of precipitation next Thursday to the following Tuesday, even though we see this dry slot, the latest model runs are indicating that we may see this move more toward the above normal category.